that we're going to talk about Kevin Durant and Team USA. And before we get into the extension talk, let's kind of talk about what we've been seeing from Kevin Durant in the Olympics. Obviously, he's the all-time leading scorer for Team USA in the Olympics, passing Lisa Leslie. But you look at a team, I mean, we'll talk in our next segment about Serbia and what we saw from that game in France. But you got to love how Kevin Durant's been playing with a point guard, obviously, in Steph Curry. His shot making, his playmaking ability. What stood out to you when you've seen Kevin Durant in the Olympics here?
Yeah, let's just kind of frame it in this conversation. How can this affect the Phoenix Suns? Because we've seen from Kevin Durant that is basically, if you ask him to just go hoop, right now we're seeing Golden State Warriors Kevin Durant. Whereas if you just ask him to just go hoop, he's potentially the greatest player in the NBA. When you add anything more than that, it's a real issue for Kevin Durant. When you ask him to be the leader, it's an issue. He can't lead very well. I was one of the only people that had said, yeah, Charles Barkley's right. He's not a great leader. But I don't think Kevin Durant has ever pretended to be a leader. Kevin Durant, similar to Aaron Rodgers, is unapologetically, authentically himself. And I have nothing but respect for that. But can Kevin Durant emulate what he has been for the Olympics? And can Mike Budenholzer make that happen artificially where he is just a hooper, where he is just the all-NBA caliber player that is asking him to be able to just be that guy? Can you ask Kevin Durant to not be asked to do anything but to just be a hooper? Whether it's Devin Booker being the leader, whether it's someone else being the defensive anchor, can you just transform this team so that Olympic Kevin Durant can come out? Not moody Kevin Durant, not basically unimaginable, unpredictable Kevin Durant. Can you just ask him to be the guy to come in and hoop? And that's what I've seen from him. And he looks joyous. He looks happy. He looks like he's glowing at this point in the Olympics, where he's just being asked to get buckets. And he's doing that. Can the Suns transform their offense to just get buckets? And that's what I've seen from Kevin Durant, and that's what I want to continue to see with this season. And it's honestly made me really excited.
Yeah, and I think you got to feel pretty good about that Tyus Jones signing happening late, where you see Kevin Durant when he doesn't have to be a point guard down the court, I should say, or have possession of the basketball all the time. Like you said, for him to just be a playmaker, ISO, be able to create his shot, I think is something that Mike Budenholzer, he's a smart coach. I think I don't have any worries about him, and especially seeing the Olympics, I bet he's taking notes on how Kevin Durant is around Devin Booker and some of these other players. I have no worries with it. I love how Devin Booker is out there. You can tell those two together. I know it's the Olympics, and I know it means a little more with the country and your family being there and in Paris and stuff like that. But you can tell these two are having a lot of fun, and I think it's cool seeing a guy like Kevin Durant express how much it means to him for playing for Team USA and stuff like that, and him being at the end of his career and having some of those moments. You just wish that could just translate over for the season, even though 82 games is a long season. There's a lot of ups and downs. The long travel can definitely wear on you and stuff like that. But you really, I just hope we can kind of see that kind of energy and the smiles and, I guess the want to be there, like you said, from when he was in Golden State and transition to this year with Budenholzer in Phoenix.
I seriously wonder how much Kevin Durant and Devin Booker playing together in this Olympics can really correlate and translate to the Phoenix Suns this year. I wonder if Devin Booker, being asked to be a Swiss Army knife and do everything very well and do everything for Steve Kerr, if that can translate to the regular season. And it kind of leads me to the next point that we were going to talk about. The Suns are now eligible to give Kevin Durant, since July 12th, a new 1-year max extension. He can only get 1 year because of the over 38 rule. During that contract with this extension, he will be over 38, so you can't continue to add more years to that. That's all CBA thing. Should the Phoenix Suns give Kevin Durant the 1-year max extension?
Yeah, I mean it's tough because he's getting up in age, but you like him around Devin Booker. He's still playing at an elite level. Like, we'll see how he is in 2 years. I think you do think I wouldn't say now before the season. I would like to see how the season ends up, and then maybe after the season as well, see where he is in terms of his happiness level, where he's not usually angry during the season. But I would hold on it personally. I don't know the money situation too well with the Phoenix Suns. It seems like in all things in the NBA, cap room is just not a thing. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I would pause on it. I think I would wait to see how this season goes with the additions of Tyus Jones and with Monty Morris and, with another year with the big three. I would pause on it. What do you think?
Yeah, so I went on a show earlier this week. I went on Locked On Sons of Brandon Clean, and I got a decent amount of pushback in the comment section because I said it's a clear double-edged sword. Should the Suns, in a vacuum, give Kevin Durant a max extension, a one-year max extension? The clear answer is no. Like, in a vacuum, no. That's a stupid move because you're a guy who's 35 years old right now, 36 years old? 36 years old. Yes. Unequivocally, his game will translate as he gets older. Now, he still has been injured. He's had a real injury history. And do we want to continue to cripple the Suns for years to come? Now, in a vacuum, no. But here's what I will say. If you truly believe the Suns are championship or bust this year, the last thing you want to do is not give Kevin Durant an extension and have moody, emotional Kevin Durant come into training camp fresh off of winning an Olympic gold medal and feel like he's not wanted, feel like the Suns are playing with his money, which is why I'm like, you kind of have to give him the one-year max extension.
You don't want to have a lot of off-season with a bunch of drama. And,
exactly.
Him coming out and saying, after this season I only got one more year. And you know how players be when they've got one more year in their contract, that trade deadline. I can already see it. 2025, 2026 trade deadline, Kevin Durant requests trade out of nowhere because he doesn't get a contract extension.
Yeah, I had multiple people in this comment section from when I looked at it when I went on Locked On Suns like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Why would you not pay Kevin Durant? Put the pom-poms down for 5 seconds, NBA fanboy. Think logically for 1 second. If I just told you, I took the name out, Kevin Durant, 36-year-old, coming off of a very good season, but highly injury prone. He's going to make $54 million, not just this year. I'm sorry, he's making $51 this year, and then $54 next year. He'll then be 38 years old. Who knows what he's like? The team is already capped with their cap issues already. They're already a second apron team. They are already on the road to losing first-round draft picks because of how high they are over the cap. And you want to just throw $55 million at a team that, through 2 years now, has not worked. Seriously, Suns fans drive me a little crazy sometimes. Put the pom-poms down, take off your fanboy Phoenix Suns hat, and put the thinking cap on. What is the best version of the Phoenix Suns a few years from now? Is it with 38-year-old Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, who'll then be 33 but still on a massive deal, Devin Booker, who's 29, or do you think that team probably won't be very competitive? History tells us they won't be. So that's kind of where I'm at. Whereas, I think you have to give it to him, and I'd be okay with it. But let's not celebrate and act like it's the right decision, because logically, it's not.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kevin Durant is a free agent. 2026-27 is the year that he would have that extension. That same year, Bradley Beal has a player option, 26-27. Like you mentioned, he'll be 33. And that same year, Devin Booker is going to be 30 with another year on his contract extension and also probably due for another contract extension as well. So it's kind of an interesting situation where they go get Kevin Durant first, player option with Bradley Beal, hope he maybe bounces, and then Devin Booker, you get into more discussions of how much longer you want him to be in a Phoenix Suns uniform.